Okay, so tonight I pretty much just asked you guys in the team page what you wanted to hear, because we have team calls set up all the time and we get guest speakers, and a lot of times you guys give me feedback that actually instead of doing like the big guest speaker calls, you like the more intimate, smaller team, just our team hearing from me. So I was like, okay, let's ask exactly what they want to hear. So I'm going to give you guys, after I plug in my laptop, some straight up, honest, tough love tonight, and then I'm gonna dial it back and go it more into the whys and everything, because I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys, and I hope some people watch the recording. But when you guys said your answers in the team page, I was like, really? Like, I'm gonna be 100% honest. Not Courtney though. Courtney is brand new, so I was like, okay, Courtney, that is a valid question. So I'm gonna answer your question. I'm gonna pull up all the other questions, but I was like, all right, guys, I'm gonna give you some tough love. And I literally, like, my therapist always asks just like, how's work going? Because we don't really talk about work, but we talk about anxiety and depression and all that fun therapist stuff. And I was like, it's going well. I was like, I think I'm going to give them some tough love tonight, though. And it's funny because she doesn't know much about it, but I was like, and she's like, oh, you probably don't do that very often, do you? And I was like, no. She's like, you are way too upbeat sometimes. She's like, I can just tell it from the way you email me. You're always like, let's get pumped up and I'm so excited and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I think they need to hear a tough love side from you. So I was like, okay, Bridget, by the way, are those your pajamas? Because they're so cute. Yeah, I have elf Christmas pajamas on. I like live in Christmas pajamas this time of year. But anyway, she's like, give them some tough love side of you, because she's like, you, and this is my own fault. Like, this is me admitting I probably sometimes don't do that enough. So I was like, okay, tonight's a good opportunity to do that. So I'm gonna go through your questions. So the first question was, Courtney, finding the right time for a power hour and making it productive. And now I said, I'm giving Courtney some grace because she is brand new. And I was like, I'm going to answer this. My immediate answer that I want to give you guys, I'm like, dial it back, Emily. My immediate answer, because then Jesse said yes, yes, and yes. So my immediate answer is put it in your calendar and do the work. So that is my tough love answer for you guys. Like, you literally, I'm going to go more into the non-tough love side in a second, but you put it in your calendar. You guys have to plan out your weeks. Like, this is simple 101 stuff where look at your calendar on a Sunday or whatever day you choose, put in a block or 1 hour or 2 hours or whatever you're working of time and stick to it. I always go back to this quote in the Rachel Hollis book. I forget what chapter it was, but she's like, you have to stop breaking promises to yourself. So if that block of time is on your calendar and it says work my Beachbody business or do my power hour or whatever you want to phrase it, do it. Because the more you don't do it, the more you're breaking that promise to yourself. And when you break promises to yourself, you lose confidence in yourself. And it's just a downward spiral from there. But if you do it, if you just get started, Jay, I don't know if you listened to Keisha's new podcast that she launched. She talked today about fear, and like, you just have to get started and take that small little baby step. Like, you never know what's going to be the other side. And she says, what's the worst thing that can happen? Like, I seriously want you all to imagine, what is the worst thing that's going to happen if you do your power hour? There's like nothing bad that can happen out of that. Like, you're not going to die. Maybe someone doesn't sign up for a month. Okay, that happens to all of us. But it's that consistency. But what's the best thing that can happen? One, you're gonna feel good about yourself that you did it. You checked off what you had to do for the day. And then when you do that consistently every single day, take a day off on the weekends. But when you do that consistently, that's when the magic starts happening. That's not even magic. That's when your business starts to grow. I just made a post, and this is kind of going on a spinoff, but I just made a post. I know you guys saw this in my email, but I have decided to go be a personal trainer, which is super exciting, super freaking scary, like fear central. And it's something I've always wanted to do. And I talk about it in the post, and it's just like, I was always told no. Like I was always told, don't major in kinesiology, don't become a personal trainer. They don't make money. That's not a real career. This is just things I've heard in my life from society, from family, whatever. And so I didn't. I went to school for a major I hated. I got a graduate degree in a major I despised. I hated my MBA, like hated it. It was miserable. I worked at jobs I hated. I worked at internships I hated, and finally found this coaching business, which was like an amazing thing for me. But guess what? As I started my coaching business, you guys know my story. I was working over 50 hours a week in corporate America, and I was going to grad school online full time for my MBA. I didn't have time to build a business. I had to plan my days, plan my weeks, whether it was normally 1 hour at night, and then I built that up to 2 hours at night. But I did it every single day. Every day. You guys hear me say this all the time, but my head didn't hit the pillow until my minimum number of invites were done. That was the only time I could work was 9 to 11 at night. That was literally the only time in my day until I finished my MBA. Then I could squeeze some in at lunch and squeeze some in here or there. But 9 to 11 at night is how I built my business to a place where I could quit my job. And if I would have never put in that time and discipline and built those habits back then, I would never have the time freedom that I do now, ever. And like between us, this stays private on our team call, I'm partially going to get my personal training certificate because I need to get out of the house. Like this is just stuff I've learned. I've always been such a busy person that now that I gratefully and very thankfully do this business full time and I love it, I need to get out of the house. Like I sit here with my dog, Tyler's off at school, and like that was something I never thought I would need to do, but I've learned. This business makes you grow so much as a person, and it's just like an expansion of it. It's not because I need the income, it's not because I need anything, but if I would have never worked towards my dreams back then when I didn't have the time, I would never have the time now to go after something extra. Something I don't need to do, something that I want to do for fun. I would never have the time, could always make the time, but I would have never been going back for this. So that was just a little side note. So then how do you make that time productive is you follow that business activity tracker, the sheet that there's many versions of it, but just follow the Beachbody business activity tracker. That is how I grew my business in those first 6-8 months. That's exactly still what I do every day. I just up my numbers. And if it helps you guys, I'll take screenshots of like my hey girls and my invites every day because I want to show you that I'm still in the trenches. Like I don't have people coming to me sometimes, not often, but I don't just throw out a post and get people to sign up. I'm literally inviting every single day. So really it falls back on, you have to just do it. Like I laughed because Jalen and Bridget then commented and you were like, I agree, but I just know I need to do it. Like there's no real trick. There's no answer. You just have to freaking do the work. And I tell you guys this with a little bit of like frustration and sadness, to be honest, because our team as a team was doing so well in the beginning and middle of the year. And we've just consistently been dropping in our elite rankings a little bit to the point where we're almost not going to be an elite team. Like we have to get Girls Hitting Success Club this month and next month, or we fall out of that top 200 elite ranking. And that's like what counts for elite. We're honestly at 179 right now. And at one point in the year, we were 123 was the highest we were ranked, which is amazing. It's incredible. And we just need that fire back. So I forget where I was going with that. Give me a second. I don't remember, so I'll just keep talking. But it goes down to you just deciding that you're going to do the work. And girls, I promise you this, I have my rough days. I have my rough weeks. I've had a rough 3 months. I know I talked to some of you about that. I think I mentioned it to Jay, I need to still make a post about it because I just haven't been ready. But like, I actually got diagnosed with depression in therapy, and that's never happened before. And I was honestly like, why the heck is this happening? Like, I have a job I love. I have a roof over my head. Like, I have a team I love. I have all these things I love. And I've had to learn that depression isn't because of a thing. It's a chemical thing in your brain. Like, But I promise you, the past 3 months have not been easy for me. But you wake up every day and you build those habits and you work towards a business and a dream that you love. And for many of you on this call, many of you have told me you want this to be your full-time thing. And many of you have told me, I don't want this to be my full-time thing, but I want to make a full-time income from it, or I want to match what I'm going to make as a teacher, or I want to make X amount, or I want to be at X rank. But to be 100% honest with you guys, I don't see the action being put in to hit those goals, because every single one of you knows what you need to do. Every single one of you has hit Success Club. Courtney, you're new. I'm not, this is not targeted toward you, but it's a good lesson. Jay has hit over Success Club 20. All the girls who, Jesse, Courtney, gonna watch the replay, Jay, Jesse, and Courtney have been diamond. Like, you girls know the work that you need to do. It's doing it. But now I'm going to take that step back, because there's a piece of it that is, you just have to freaking do the work. Like, you guys said it yourselves, I just have to do it. But you, taking a step back from that, you have to go back to the basics and go back to your why. So first I want to talk about going back to the basics. If you're not feeling motivated, if you're not feeling like motivation, I hate that word. I hate that word. You have to create your own motivation. But if you're not feeling motivated and you're not like on fire like you once were, go back to the basics of Beachbody. Are you doing a program right now from start to finish? Are you drinking your shake every day? Are you following a meal plan? And not following a meal plan and then adding in a couple brownies at night and cookies at night because it's the holiday season? Because guess what? When we feed our bodies crap, we feel like crap. We feel less motivated. Are you reading at least 10 to 20 minutes of personal development a day? All this stuff that I tell a brand new coach, are you doing as a leader on this team to get you to the goals that you want to get to? It really, like, this business is simple. It goes back to those basics of work out, drink a shake, read a book, listen to a book, follow a nutrition plan, and talk and share it with people. But then taking a step further back from that, you're never gonna do the work if you don't have a serious why behind it. And maybe that, I was just talking with Courtney, so I hope she doesn't mind that I share this. I doubt she will, but she messaged me the other day and she was saying about how her husband is not 100% happy at his job and he wishes he could do something else. And Courtney is such a, I don't know the right word for this, but like loves to help other people more than she ever loves to help herself. She's a nurse. She needs a why for someone else versus herself. And some people are just like that, and I love her for it, but she is relit fire because she's like, you know what, she just took another nursing job where she has less hours than her other one, better hours, and she's supplementing the rest with her coaching income, and she's like, I just got to do something that I love, but my husband's still working a job he hates. Like, what if I made enough where he could take a pay cut and go do something he loves? And that's her new why. Like, that's driving her. You guys need to go back to your, why did you start this business? And it can evolve over time, but even go back to, why did I start this? And then someone else is going to need that reason. Talk about that in your post. And then dig deep into your why. You guys have heard, and Sarah was at the retreat when she heard Ashley talking about her why. And at first her why was just like, yeah, I want to help people and make money and like all this stuff. But her real why came 2 years into her business, 2 or 3 years into her business, when her husband had to take a different job to pay for the family and was gone for weeks at a time working on like an oil thing, like where they're gone for a couple weeks at a time. And she was like, I hated it. And my why was then to bring him back home so he could take a job he loved, kind of like Courtney's is, to make enough to do that. And now her business, she makes over $8,000 a month. Like, that could support her family, I'm sure. But she needed that why. I heard it on a call today, like a why that I forget how they word it, not a why that makes you cry, because that's too like cheesy and generic, but like seriously, why did you start this business? What is gonna get you up in the mornings? And reevaluate that and think about that. I want all of you after this call to go write that down somewhere and really take a couple minutes. Don't just rush and write down a stupid why. Like, sit down and write why you want XYZ. What is a diamond coach going to get you? What is an extra $10,000 a year going to get you? What is replacing or matching your teaching salary going to get you? Like, what are all these things? And yeah, at first when I was like, I want to quit my job, that was a long ways out. But at first it was little things. Yeah, so going back to your why and just realizing that, yes, it is just putting it in your calendar and doing the work that you say you're going to do and building that habit. But if you don't have a why connected to that or a reason, then you're not going to want to get up and do it. And every single one of you has a why, and every single one of you have told me your dreams. And I want to get you back to dreaming bigger and believing what's possible. Like, if someone would have told me 3 years ago when I started this that I could quit my job and like work from home with my dog and help others get healthy, I would have been like laughing in their face, because I was just starting 3 years ago at this time, and I would be like, that is not a real thing. Like, that's not how the world works. But eventually I started dreaming a little bit and a little bit and a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger, and I still have huge dreams. Like, do you guys know how much debt Tyler has? Like, we have huge dreams of paying that off quickly. We have huge dreams of buying a house and getting another dog and paying for our wedding and all this stuff. But you guys need to give yourself that permission to dream big again, and then realize this can be the vehicle that can take you there. Keep losing my train of thought a little bit, sorry. But I was gonna say something else about dreaming big. I don't know, but connect your big dreams to your why and then work towards that. Oh, I know what I was going to say, because each of you have told me these dreams, but then, like I said, I don't see the action being put forward to make some of those dreams a reality. Because yes, we can do all the woo-woo shit and manifest and visualize, and that stuff is seriously important, and I've dove into a lot of that inner work stuff lately. That's half of it. But the other half is taking action. So I'm going to get into Sarah's question then that said invites. I can fit everything else into pockets of my day, but I struggle with having enough people to invite. So I'm going to tell you, do your invites first. So if you're running out of time to invite at the end, you have to eat that frog, read that book, eat that frog, and put the thing that you're not doing, or the thing that you kind of put off till the end, or the thing that doesn't get done, first on your power hour list. And Sarah and I were actually emailing about this a little bit when she sent me her business activity tracker for the week, and talking about finding more people to invite. So I said, you have to be reaching out to those brand new people. Like, I can't just sit here and like wait for people to like my posts or wait for people to come to me, because honestly, I bet a ton of people stalk you guys that aren't liking a single post, that aren't commenting on a single post. It's going out and also not just waiting for people to come to you, because they may not be your people, but finding your dream people that you want to work with, that you want to build a business with, or that you want to help get healthier or gain confidence. But my new conversations every day are not people that I'm reconnecting with. Now, as a newer coach, yes, make those new conversations people that you're reconnecting with from high school and college and family and friends in the past and everything. Or people, if you're not a newer coach, people you haven't talked to yet. But those new conversations every day should be brand new conversations. So how I'm doing that is going on hashtags on Instagram, on other accounts that I like, not coaches, and seeing who follows them. I'm going and searching for those dream people. Honestly, I think that's how I found Courtney, through like a Colorado fitness hashtag, because I saw her page and I was like, Courtney is someone I want to work with on our team. Like, Courtney is someone that, I mean, we've met in person now. We're both short. We both love athletic clothes. Like, we have so many of the same values in just the way we live life. you have to go find those people to invite. And if you're running out of people to invite, then you have to talk to more people and put that first on your list. And then I said to her too in the email, she has trouble flipping it from convo to invite. And I said, really dig deep and figure out why you struggle with that, because that's something that Sarah, if you can see me, hi. Sarah has struggled with and told me about for 2 years now. I said, dig a little deeper and figure out why, because that shouldn't be an issue anymore. So it should be digging deeper and figuring out why, because if the confidence is there, and this is how all of us should feel, we have amazing home workouts. Like, I think it's helped every single one of us get in better shape. I know it has. I can see every single one of you, and I've seen your results. Amazing nutrition that has helped all of us. An amazing team. Look at us hanging out on a Tuesday night when we could be watching Christmas movies and eating Christmas cookies. Like, an amazing community. Retreats that we've been on. Jay just posted to say, like, I could have never gone to Colorado without this coaching retreat. Like, think of all the blessings that this has given to you, and why would you not want to invite someone to that? That does not have to be like a flowy conversation that this is the perfect time to invite them. No, like, I just said, hey, would you like information on my virtual gym? Like, it's a group of motivated girls all working towards our health and fitness goals, blah, blah, blah. Like, I switch it up all the time because I'm just like sending it out. And I just made that PDF that you guys can use. So you don't even have to know exactly what to say. Like, send them my PDF. Like, eventually make your own and have your own things. But I try to make these resources for you girls to use that I get excited about, but you need to use them. You need to invite, you need to send them, because I want our team to explode. I want our team to have amazing, more women like you girls. Like, this team is amazing, and we deserve to show that and spread it and share it with everyone. So I think I got through the questions. I think that was it. And I just did some little tough love. And then I invited Nina on too, because she's just a coach that I connect here with in Colorado. I went to her house for Thanksgiving because we have no family out here. And she let us come over, which was so nice. But I just invited her on because we've been talking a lot. So do you have anything you want to add, Nina?
Yes. So I think Emily spoke on this perfectly. But I think I know most of you. I've been on calls or met with you guys. But I've been in this business.
Courtney was at the Chris Downing workout with us.
Yes, I remember Courtney. I took the picture of you guys, the short girls. And I've been on a couple of you guys have been on the Emerald in 24 and stuff. So I've been a coach now for 4.5 years. And when I first started coaching, I was a full-time teacher. I have 3 kids. And I get, on a personal level, I get the whole, I don't have time, or, I know what I need to do, but I just get in my own way of doing it. And I get that. I understand it. We don't have time. But I think it's more of an avoidance thing. So at the end of the day, I think you all know what you have to do. I think you all have done what you've had to do before. And I have my coaches, if I talk to them, that's their number one thing too. It's well, I know what I need to do. I just am not doing it. Or, I'll start later or whatever. And my number one piece of advice for you guys is to just do it. Micah Folsom says, do the crap, do it. Because when you look back, you are just holding yourself back from so many different dreams. Now, for me, what made me put that switch on in my mind was when I would have to look at my kids. So I'm kind of like you, Courtney. For myself, I can settle. But, when I have other people's dreams that are in my hands, whether it's my kids or whether it's the coaches on my team, I always say to myself, well, if I don't show up today for my workout, what if somebody else needs my inspiration? If I don't show up for my team today, what if somebody else needs me? If I don't show up for my business today or my business this week, or if I don't hit those bare minimum goals, what opportunities are my kids and my family, what are they going to be missing out? Because something that we know in this business is we can have this belief and we can have these goals. And, Emily said you guys all have these really big goals, and we can have them, but there's a timeline on them. So I know for me, it's like perspective for me is, okay, I have 5 more years with my oldest daughter at home. So every day, like this business takes time. We can't just snap our fingers and all of a sudden say, okay, tomorrow I'm going to like invite 100 people and I'm going to hit Success Club 10 tomorrow because I'm going to invite 100 people. It doesn't work like that. You have to show up every single day and put in that work, and it compounds. Like if you guys haven't read The Compound Effect, like go back to the basics, like Emily said, and read those books and dive into personal development and just show up. Like this business is not like, you don't need to invest 5 hours a day. Like start with a half an hour a day and do the bare minimum of each of the vitals. But like you guys know what you need to do and you're just getting in your own way. And the only way to get out of your way is to get clarity on what you want from this, but also why you're avoiding it and why you are getting in your own way. So if it's a lack of belief, if it's, you know, if you want to say it's a lack of motivation, but I truly think the motivation, like it's BS, and it comes back to a lack of belief or a lack of confidence, or, you know, you just don't care. But at the end of the day, like, I'm going to take it back to this. And if you guys can truly look yourself in the mirror and say, okay, I lived, I loved, I mattered today, then fine, you did what you had to do. And that's like the Brendon Burchard, that's his big thing. And to me, like, that's how I run my business. So if I go to sleep tonight and it's like, I could do more, I feel like crap. And I know tomorrow I'm going to do more, because we have to take advantage of this time if our dreams truly do mean something to us. So my biggest thing is going to be get clarity on what you want to do. Make sure you have belief in Emily, like belief in this team, belief in this opportunity, and belief in yourself. Figure out what that fear is. So like any excuse you have comes down to fear. So figure out what that fear is that's holding